Forward to the cloud. Window system dialog. Busy progress indicator. Progress indicator. Window system dialog. You are currently on a button. To click this button, press Control Option Space. Hello, welcome back to the Divinely You podcast, as well as Saradivinelyyou on YouTube. Thank you so much for your patience. Thanks for tuning in and watching videos and sharing and liking and all of the things. I definitely appreciate it. I definitely appreciate the grace a little bit. I missed yesterday. I definitely underestimated the energetic capacity to travel on a bus and attempt to record a video. That was just not going to happen. So, and I got here and it was raining and it was a long day. It was a really long day, but I made it home safely. I had an amazing trip. Lots of up and down experiences about it, but in general, I had fun and I definitely will be doing some more house sitting. So I'm super excited. I'm probably going to do some local ones in the, Phoenix metro area. But I also keep looking for the SoCal ones specifically to get back to that ocean. So there's that. Anywho, more about that later. So let's talk about crochet stuff. So, I wanted to show you, y'all get to see this. Okay. So I decided I always take a project with me when I travel because I never know when I always just have it because I like it, but I also never know like when I'm going to have some extra downtime. Like if I get to the airport extra early or if I, and of course sitting on a bus for hours, to always have an audio book available to myself and to have a crochet project. Because I used to be a smoker. I actually, what am I on? Year 11, 12, I think, smoke free. I still smoke occasionally, but not often at all. And only if I'm drinking and I'm around people who have cigarettes. And even then I'm like, I'm not doing that as much anymore. But anyway, so since I don't smoke, like that was when I really started to crochet a lot more, was like to keep my brain doing something, my hands doing something, and all of that. So anyway, to pass the time, I usually try to carry a crochet with me. If you've ever met a yarn crafter, they probably carry their yarn craft with them, and all that. And so I'm looking over here because I was doing some sage cleansing and I think it's still smoldering. So anyway, I always try and do something that's like kind of brainless. Like I try not to bring a complicated project where I'd have to change color or I'd have to, look at the pattern every row or whatever. And so this trip, I decided to teach myself a new stitch pattern. So far we have this. There we go. And I actually love this colorway now that I see it on the camera than I did even not seeing it. So this is the waffle stitch. So you can kind of probably see texturally, it looks like it has waffle pockets. It took me a minute because I tried to follow the pattern letter for letter and then I realized that I was doing it wrong. So I kind of got up to this point that I'm at now and had to rip back to here. And so on the trip home, I did back up to here. So that's why sometimes, it's like, I want to talk about like cost of items, but like sometimes you think an item is like overpriced, but you're not taking into consideration the time of learning the stitch pattern, of like having to probably tear the project apart a couple of times, and then like putting it back together because you didn't learn it properly, or you miscounted or whatever. So a project never comes together like lickety split like that. Very rarely, sometimes, but not very often does it happen that way. And sometimes there's like a knot in the yarn. Like part of the time investment in a handmade project is there's a knot in the yarn and the knot can take hours to unravel, if not longer. It's kind of funny because I've been crocheting for 16 years. So my years are getting bigger and I'm trying not to realize that I'm that old, because I don't feel that old. I don't feel my age. I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to feel at 43, but I don't feel it. Anywho, but I've learned a lot of life lessons from working with yarn, right? Yarn gets knots and you pretty much have to have the patience of Job to unravel a knotted yarn because you really don't want to cut it or break it. because then you just got to sew it back together and knot it back together. But so you kind of want to like take your time to try to unravel it, but it can be painstaking to do that. So, you know, when you see the price of a project, think about the time investment in learning the stitch pattern, or, you know, making it look as even as possible, or unraveling, or, you know, dealing with yarn knots or whatever. So on March 20th, if you are in the Phoenix area and you happen to be watching this video, on March 20th, I will have a table at a vendor event in actually Peoria, Arizona, which is just northwest of Phoenix, or even west of Phoenix, depending on what part of Phoenix you're in. The cities tend to run really long, north and south here. I will have a table at a vendor event. I am super stoked. It's the first one that I've done ever in 16 years. I've always tried to sell my stuff online, and so I'm super excited. So what'll happen is everything that I have on my website and everything that gets finished by then will be price tagged, and those will be the sticking prices. Right now, I'm pretty negotiable, but once I price them, that's it. So let me.
Audio, stop video, secure, close, open chat, share screen button. Desktop 11 items, sharing screen in. Safari, Crochet, Divinely one item selected. Share button, optimize, share. Safari, you have started screen share. Share toolbar window, system dialog, mute button. Zoom.us has new system dialog. Zoom.us has new system dialog.
So pretty much everything that's currently on sarawaggle.com/crochet will be on the table, and then some, because there's stuff that's not on here yet. So we have the berry striped blanket. There's a cowl with a hood. There's the pink, the bright pink. Let me help myself out a little bit. There's this bright pink puff stitch scarf. This is the color block scarf. And then we have the color block infinity scarf. And then we have this lavender scarf that's got like a, it has like a lacy or more open part, and then a more dense part. So it's like striped, but not in the way of like color changing stripes, but like striped as in the pattern is different in different spots. And then of course we have the asymmetrical wrap in those gorgeous blue tones. And then this is called the virus shawl, which can also be made into a poncho, but the shawl is the one that I have for sale. I personally love the colorway on that one. And then I have the caplet or the shawlette. And that's all that's on the website. So these items will all be for sale at the vendor event. They're also for sale on the website and until they sell. I also have the 3 block, apparently I can't think straight. The 3 baby blankets that are not on this website, but I've shown them on videos before. So those are the items for sale. Those will be at the event. So again, if you're in the Phoenix area, if you know anyone who's in the Phoenix area, there will be an art vendor event on March 20th in Peoria, Arizona. It's going to be near Union Coffee Company, which is really great coffee, by the way, if you're into good coffee. So Union Coffee is right next door to where the event will be. So if you know anyone in the Phoenix area, if you're going to be in the Phoenix area, come and check it out that day. It's going to be great. I'm excited. And
move focus to next window. Your stop share button. You have stop.
So that's what I got for crochet this week is project progress and what's going to be for sale. And you can always custom order. You can always make inquiries, sewcoaching@gmail.com. You can message me, DM me if you're on my Instagram, Saradivinelyyou, or if you are on my Facebook or whatever, you can always make inquiries that way. So thank you so much for tuning in. Again, thank you for your grace and your patience. I'm going to do a 2-shot video today. So I'm going to do this one now, and then I'm going to come back in a little bit and upload the second one, which will be some self-care in metaphysical context. So, and in a year from now, you're going to wonder what the hell I'm talking about. So thank you so much for tuning in on the podcast. and on YouTube, and I'll talk to you later.
Stop recording now.